Hi everybody, I hope you're all doing well. I've been away for a while, so I wanted to catch up with you all, see how you're all doing, and just want to thank all my new subscribers and thank all my old subscribers. I really appreciate all your support. A little catch up, I'll be back doing videos this week, so I should have a few videos coming out this week. I've got a live coming up with a couple of fighters this week as well, some big well-known fighters, and I've got more videos coming out as well. But I just remembered a story from I was about 16 years old, and it was when I got invited to a party with Kray, Lenny McLean and a few other people on a boat in London, and I refused to go. Back then I had a sort of, when I was a teenager, I'd read all the Kray twins books and stuff like that, and I had a fascination with the old school gangsters because I sort of had a romanticised view of it, and I really appreciated the old school values and the morals, you know, the stuff about no women and children get involved and only other criminals would get involved or get hurt if there was trouble, and you keep general public away from it all. Anyway, so I was reading all the Kray books, but I did love the street fighters as well. I was fascinated with Lenny McLean, and obviously I knew Norman Buckland by that point, but I was fascinated with Lenny. I got an invite to, I was 16 years old, there was an invite to a party on a boat in London, and it was through the Kray twins. They had like a thing, it was like a club thing going on back then, and you had to pay 50 quid and you can go on this boat party in London, and they said Kray was going to be on it and quite a few other villains and well-known people and a few celebrities. Now, being 16 years old, I thought to myself, pay 50 quid and go down there, and I actually thought to myself, no, I thought I can't do that. I thought I don't want to do that. In my head, I thought I want to meet these people off of my own merit, off of my own back. Maybe if I become this is when I was 16, maybe if I become a famous fighter or a well-known fighter, or maybe even a criminal at that age, I thought maybe I'll meet them through my own merit, organically, rather than pay to go and meet them. So stupidly I didn't go, and I regretted it. I did regret it when I found out that not only was Kray there, I knew Kray was there, but Lenny McLean was on the boat, apparently was on this boat party. And if I'd have met Lenny, because I was fascinated with Lenny. Obviously now people go on about him being a bully and stuff. I never heard about that then. Some people say that he's not a bully, some say he was, but as far as I was concerned, Lenny was the sort of man who would fight a gang by himself, and I appreciated that. So when I found out Lenny was on the boat, I was gutted that I didn't pay the 50 quid to go down there, because I never got to meet Lenny in the end. I got to meet Cliff Fields, Roy Shaw. Roy Shaw came to a couple of my fights, and I met Roy many times, but I never met Lenny. But I could have met him. One of them opportunities that was missed. But as it happens, I mean, loving all the old 60s gangsters, I'm lucky enough to have met quite a few. I'm friends with Chris Lambriano, and I knew Tony as well. I got to meet Joey Pyle Senior a couple of times, not many, a few times. A lot of this was down to Ricky English and young Joey Pyle on their boxing shows. Ricky English was my trainer and my good friend. And I got to meet Charlie Richardson once or twice. Eddie Richardson I've met a few times, in fact, and in fact he called me up and invited me to the annual boxers, I forgot what it's called now, but it's every year they do a boxers thing, and I was meant to go down there with Eddie Richardson, Samuel McCarthy and a couple of other people, but I couldn't make it. So I got to meet Eddie a few times. Who else did I get to meet? I met quite a few more. Freddie Foreman, who I've met many times, and had a Nando's with him and been out for dinner with him, and yeah, quite a lot. Howard Marks, had a little session with Howard Marks when I was on the drink and everything else. We had a lively little session in where was that, Derby. So yeah, I feel lucky enough to eventually have met a lot of these old school villains, because they're a different breed. They're a different breed to the criminals I think you get nowadays. I think that era, yeah, they're. I mean, you've got Albert Redding, Charlie Richardson, Freddie Foreman. They'd be the last, and you got Chris Lambrianu's, and they're the last of the 60s criminals that were well known all around the country. But yeah, like I said, they're a dying breed. But anyway, I hope you're all well. Let me know how you're all doing in the comments, and I'll catch up with you all soon. Nice one.